So here we're rolling in with our first review of the PS3 Elite YouTube account. And the first video is Burnout Paradise review. Criterion Games' Burnout franchise has now been the long king of the arcade racing. Its tight controls and overwhelming sense of speed have catapulted it to the top of the genre, and few games have come even close to matching the series' strengths. But while Criterion has garnered tons of praise from both gamers and critics alike, the studio never sits still. With every release, a developer tweaks the core formula in an attempt to offer something to new gamers. Burnout sees what is arguably the biggest changes in the franchise's history, with nearly every single aspect of the game having seen some sort of shift in the design. Some of it works really well, and some of it is not so well. But what we wind up with still remains an very intense, blazingly perfect controlling racer, one that you will and should not miss. Well, let's start off with the biggest change to this new game in the series of Burnout games. The biggest change introduced would be the open world in the streets of Paradise City. The entire city is open at the start of the game with the idea that you can do whatever you want whenever you want. Not all the events are present at the start, mind you, and you'll have to put in a lot of time to unlock the game's roughly 75 cars. But you're never limited in the options before you. There are bits of good and bad to this. The good is that the city design is great, offering us plenty of varying spots for you to race and tons of hidden areas to find, i.e. there is, off places to go off track and stuff. It's really neat. There's no shortage of tucked away passages, underground runs, and all sort of cool spots to hit. You'll find jumps littered everywhere, including small ramps with kickers on the side to send you into a barrel roll. If you played the demo, you know what I'm talking about on the beach of Paradise City. There's like a little part of the ramp that's bigger, and you can do barrel rolls off of it, which is great for stunt runs. The main downtown area of Paradise City is very reminiscent of the downtown tracks in the last couple of games, while the western section of the city harkens back to the long, winding countryside courses of the past games as well. A couple of highways will put you dead in the middle of traffic and give you plenty of road to get up to speed on. Paradise City is very dense, especially the eastern downtown section, offering you a myriad of ways to get through the race. When a race starts, you simply must race from point A to point B as fast as you can, along with whatever route you want. This is where all of those off-course trails come in great handy. While this means that you're given the freedom to create your own course, it also means that you'll be stopping the action and referring to the map fairly often to make sure that you don't take any wrong turns. This ends up in a lot of crashing, for me at least, since there's so many different tunnels, highways, and such to take. It can be easy to take a wrong turn and wind up going off course for a bit. Until you've memorized the bulk of the map, which, given its complexity, will take a long time, you'll likely have to pause and check the map 2 or 3 times during a race to make sure that you're on the right path. There's an in-game indicator of what the finish line is, but just in the points in the compass direction, and doesn't help with turns or anything of that sort. This is understandable to a degree, since Criterion, rightfully so, wants to create their own routes and not rely on what things that you should do. But it doesn't mean that you'll be at the mercy of the pause screen until memory starts taking over. I would say overall, from a gamer's point of view, this game is quite good. I mean, it'll take out a lot of your time, but it can get old quick. The online perspective of this game is quite nice. It's a little bit of refreshment from the past games. One of the bad things that I don't like about this game is there is no 2-player, which means, no friends can play or anything unless you're playing online with them, which is quite fun actually. It doesn't get boring at all when you're playing online with your friends, because you can just do a lot of stunt runs and just mess around and stuff. And there's unlockable cars in this game. I'll get to that later if I have time. One of the things that I also don't like is how if you don't pass like a race or like a stunt run or anything or stuff like that, there's no restart button. You have to drive all the way back to the intersection where that started, and you have to redo it, which can be a pain in the butt, but I guess you gotta deal with it and roll with the punches. This is still a good game, and you don't have to point out all of its flaws. Um, Overall, I would give this game an 8.8. It's got great graphics. It's very good controls. Unlike a lot of car games that like you swerve off the road and stuff. This is a really good game, and I believe everyone should give this a chance. Even if you're not into racing games like me, this game is still fun. I mean, and if you are into racing games, this is right up your alley. You can just, if it's free roam, you do whatever you want when you want. And I believe the upgrading of the license from, I believe you start off at like, I don't even know. You start off as like a learner's permit, and then you start upgrading to a D, then a C class, then an A class, and then a burnout license, which is the best. And you can unlock about 75 cars. So this will keep you playing a long time. And I believe this is a step forward in the Burnout Racing series, and they did a very good job with this.
Alright, hey guys, so in this part of the video, I'll be showing you guys the box and the box art and just the physical part of the game, such as the box. So, right away you notice it's a little different than a lot of other racing games. You notice it's white. I kind of like this white stuff right here just because it's different than a lot of other racing games in the previous Burnout boxes. I think it's a really cool new modern look to it. It's really nice. So yeah, that's the front. In the background you can see there's Paradise City. Then when you flip it over to the spine it says Burnout Paradise. Yeah. And on the back it just normal stuff. It just talks about how it's free roaming and stuff, and a new feature to it, mugshot. When you're online and you take someone down, it'll show you their facial expression. If you have a PlayStation Eye, it'll take a picture of them and it'll show their expression. That guy right there. Yeah. And you open it, and it's still got that white theme going. There's the Blu-ray disc. It's white. I really like that actually. I don't know why. It just looks cooler than other boxes. It stands out to me. And that was a good idea for them for advertising. If you see it on a shelf, it'll catch your eye. And then normal box content. But just basing on the look of the box, I rate the box a 10. I know it's kind of weird to rate the box, but you know, it's really nice. And this game's a really good game, and you guys should really buy it. Once again, back to the back, it just, you know, infinite possibilities, and it's